Soundstripe.
Thank you for tuning into Life Happen podcast with your favorite cousin, Keisha. Hey, cousins. And this is my bestie. That's my best friend, Keita. Winning, let's go. Okay. So I told y'all was going to see people, and I meant it because, man, I don't know. Let's talk a little bit about how we met, Keita, real quick. Let's just give them an introduction of how long we known each other.
Oh, my gosh. I was like many moons ago, but.
Not moons, Keita.
No, it was.
Moons.
No, it was. No, you know how old we are? You know how old we are? That was
we were 13 and 14.
Exactly. So that was some moons.
Girl. Okay, so almost it's over 2 decades for sure. We're going into our third decade of knowing each other.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. And how many fights we had, Keita?
One.
Yeah.
Did we have one? Yeah.
It was two.
It was two?
It was two. Yeah.
Okay. One I don't count because you got mad about some ice cream.
Cookie dough, but my fat ass couldn't help it anyway, so that's just how that goes. But okay, so we've known each other for like almost 3 decades. Only 2 incidents. There's been times that we haven't talked to each other in over a year. And Keita, What happens when we link up after we haven't talked to each other?
Like it never happened. Like we was just with each other yesterday.
Never stop talking, correct?
Yeah.
Like, so when people say besties, like you got to realize like life happens to all of us, right?
Right.
And life was happening to me. First and foremost, I want to say she always rocked with me. Like in everything I try to do, she is like outside my sisters, she be like, you gonna do it, you got it. And even if I don't like complete it, she every time I come with an idea, she like, yes, Bessie, yes, do it. Okay, you got this. Okay, because God and I was like, Marquita, anything I do, you just go. She's like, you're right.
Absolutely. If it's something positive, I'm always going to support you. If it's something that I see that you're going to flourish in and it's going to make you happy and a couple of coins, I definitely want you. I'm going to push you towards it.
Because that's what we're going for. And when I win,
you know what? No, we're not going for coins. We're going for bags.
Bags? Ooh, yeah. I ain't never worked hard enough for a bag. No. I ain't never worked that hard.
Coins. We was getting coins back then.
Yeah. Oh, for real? No. You was getting coins, correction, and I was just benefiting.
We was getting coins.
I was just twinning benefiting. That's for sure. No. In a real life, if you wanted somebody like her, I'm going to just be real quick with this one, because when I was pregnant, there was a situation that happened where she put herself in a very uncomfortable space just to be supportive to me. See, when people talk about friendships and best friends, they don't understand like a relationship, even just a friendship has to be unconditional. You are the epitome of what a best friend really is. And you're on my second episode, because the first one is me. So if after me, then now you and me, and we're going to make it happen. So the topic is balancing life and how it's different for everyone. But like some of the things you've done, because now you have 2 adult children.
Yes, I do.
What are their ages?
20 and 18.
Girl. And I have a toddler. Make it make sense.
You know, I have my bonus babies too. So those are my kids.
Yeah, no. So you
but
and your
all
husband,
my kids.
How many do you guys all have together?
We have 6 kids together.
Okay, and all of them are adults.
All of them are adults. So the oldest he'll be 24, and the youngest just turned 18. So
okay, and then she has her fur babies. So a lot of times me and you have conversations, and I'll be like, Keita, we need to put this on a podcast. We need to do something with this, because you're one very important person in my life that has helped me guide me through motherhood. Since my mom has been gone, you've been very supportive and just trying to tell me like, oh, you're doing a great job, Keisha. And I'm like, bestie, this is not easy. And I feel like a piece of shit of a mother. And when I say that, it's not books. Okay, so there's no rule books, right? But the guilt, right? Of trying to balance everything, like have a time for yourself, have time for you and your mate, you and your children. Then you work a 9 to 5, and then you have to balance all that together, and then your health on top of it, yourself.
I think initially we all find ways to make it work. We try to at least. Sometimes we feel like we've fallen short on one end. Like with me personally, I got kids, I have a husband, I have a 9 to 5, I got a business. I got fur babies. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm stretched thin and I'm trying to make sure that I am giving each thing my attention, but something's always gonna fall short. And I've had mom guilt. I felt like I'm not giving enough to myself. Like who is Marquita? Because Marquita to me is mom and wife and business owner and this, but what do I like? I don't even remember what I like anymore. Like what's my favorite color? Like what I had to learn through a lot of prayer and a lot of, just talking to other people, that it's okay to be a little selfish. Some selfishness is good selfishness. Like you have to self-preserve. So I was running thin to the point where I was starting to get resentful because I'm like, y'all pulling me this way, pulling me that way, but nobody's asking
Resentful
me
to
how
who,
I'm doing.
Keita?
Resentful to my family, resentful to even myself, just mad at myself because I'm feeling like I'm doing all this, I'm doing all this, I'm doing all this, and y'all not giving back. But then I had to realize, like, you heard the key word, I'm doing all this and not pouring enough in my cup. So I'm giving everything that's left in my cup to everybody else. So what helped me is I was on Instagram and I came across this thing from Fantasia. And she was saying, I think I sent it to you, friend, but she was saying, like, we as women, we we looked at as, superheroes. Like we can do it all. We got a cake, we do it everything. You know what I'm saying? And you pouring so much out of your cup. She was like, when you see that you pour so much and you got just a little bit left in your cup, don't pour that. She was like, keep that for yourself.
Oh no, I didn't get
So
that,
at
friend. I
first,
need to find
yeah,
that.
I'll find it for you if I haven't sent it to you, but
I
I'll
need to
send it.
find that again. Cause
But I'm like, she was like, because you give everything out. What do you have for yourself? Because I can't depend on everybody else to like water this plant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't depend on everybody else to fill me up because I'm depleted because I depleted myself. So I gotta put me as a priority too. Because before I was a mama, a girlfriend, wife, all that, I was Marquita.
yeah. Yeah. It was easier.
So
It was
it was
easier when it was self, right?
girl,
But okay,
girl.
so I always equate like, but me feeling like a young mother, even at 40, because I had my son later in life. You know what I'm saying? What, like, at 20, I couldn't even imagine how you felt when you had your child. Because, but I can because I feel so lost. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like everything feels so brand new to me. But you guys, like I said, your children are grown, and I'm sitting here like, oh my God, like what to do? So the young moms that I know, I'm like in their space right now. And I thought I actually would be so much more further because I've watched kids and I've babysitting. I'm an auntie to children. And it was just like to you guys as children, and it's just like, no, I don't know what I'm
Yeah, because
doing.
those kids get to go home.
Makita, I don't need so okay, so in
Your
a
kid
sense,
is with you.
yeah, all the whole time. The whole time. But so then so the mom guilt, right? Let's talk about the mom guilt. Like when you say something has to something has to be sacrificed or the lack of, right? A lot of times I feel Ash is being sacrificed. Even though he's at daycare and I know he's safe for the most part, right? Or he's with his dad. A small percentage with his sister. I still feel like he's being sacrificed for me to be able to do what I do. How did you ever get over, or did you get over the mom guilt?
I don't think I ever kind of like got over it. I kind of like was able to maneuver through it. At first I used to have mom guilt real bad because I'm like, I gotta work and I work these crazy hours. And I mean, I always had the weekend off, but I was tired. You know what I'm saying? Like I was tired because I'm working like 50, 60 hours a week. And on the weekends, I want to be sleep in the bed, but I got to take care of 2 kids, and they want their mom. So a lot of the times I wasn't able to, make it to parent teachers conferences or make it to award shows. And, thank God to my
What did
husband.
that do? Okay, their dad was there. That's the difference
Yeah.
too. Like Ash dad is a truck driver. And so I can't speak on even if he was in state like your husband, if he would be have such hands on. There's a sense of balance with unity, right? With
Right.
a community. Okay, so him being there, but you still felt
I still
guilty,
felt
of
it.
course, right?
Yeah, because like we would go to the kids' school and they'd be like, "Oh, hi, Mr." And they looking at me like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm their mom."
And
You know what
you
I'm
were at
saying?
work,
Like,
but you was working.
yeah, they're calling him. They're telling him the kids are sick. Can you come pick them up? And I'm like, well, why didn't they call me? And at first I got comfortable with like, okay, cool, you got it, good. You got it, good. But then it started hitting me because he started telling me stuff like, oh yeah, the kids had this award show. I'm like, well, why didn't I know? He was like, well, you wasn't gonna be able to get off of work. And I run my own business, so I make my own schedule. So I can go and do this stuff and maneuver. But I was like, I'm still their mom. I still want to know. So then I started getting like the mom guilt. And then I'm like, you know more about them than I do, and I birthed them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I started trying to make time, but then I'd be a little irritated or I'd be a little tired. I do a little something with them then here and there, and then I want to go and lay down. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I do thank God for the village though, because even you've came, moved in, helped me out, watched the kids for me. You know what I'm saying?
Now
So
let's
it's
be
like,
honest too. I did it, but I was getting paid. Let me make sure that people know that, honey. I was getting paid, but I did do it, and I would
yeah,
do it
definitely. I was
again.
gonna pay you for your time. I'm not gonna have you just watch my toddlers because
But
I
I
got
wouldn't have
two.
mind, right? But when you say, "Is there some money involved?" I'm like, "I'll be there,
Yeah.
girl." No, living with you in that moment was very therapeutic for me because I got
Was
to
it?
be with you.
Because
Yeah.
I was going crazy, but okay.
I know, but Keita,
Not
like,
because of you, because I'm just like,
no, it was a lot. Like
it
you
was a
was
lot
dealing with a
going on in
lot,
my
and
world.
then yeah, it was. But it was therapeutic for me because I remember I was going through a divorce and well, a separation because the divorce didn't
I
come
was gonna say,
17
wait,
years
wait,
later.
wait. We gonna be honest on
17
here. You were
years later.
separated.
Girl, but
Y'all
Keita,
was
don't
separated.
do me.
How
Keita, we
y'all
gotta
was
stay on
separated longer than
track
y'all
because
was
don't do
married?
me because I wasn't with that man. I ain't been with that man. But
No.
yeah, but the truth is, I was able to have you, and you were very like, even though you were going through all that, you still made time for me. And I don't understand how you did it. Like I'm looking back at a lot of things and I'm just like, I really was clueless because the responsibility that you had or Tasha had or Ashley had, I didn't have. And I think that when you don't have that responsibility, the empathy is different. You know, it's like, oh,
Right.
well, if I did, I
Definitely.
could, like, if I had it, I know I could deal with it. But it's like, no, because like now I am at 40 years old, 41, and I'm dealing with all the things you guys dealt with in your 20s. I could not imagine the turmoil that you were feeling inside your mind and your heart because we were babies still. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And people don't
Absolutely.
realize that.
I
Okay,
feel I
so
tell everybody like,
the
people say kids mold you. I mean, you mold your kids how you want them to be. I was like, no, my kids molded me. Like,
yeah,
they shaped and
definitely.
molded me to the person I am today. Like, because I grew up with my kids.
Yeah.
I feel like we grew up together.
No, you
You know,
definitely did.
I was 22 when I had Kirsten, 24 when I had Justice. So it's like I'm a baby still. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to navigate my way through life. I'm just finding, what works for me. And then I have a baby. And then I have another baby. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, but they're innocent. I gotta put myself to the side.
When did the mom guilt become
Less heightened.
yeah.
I would say like when they got a little bit like older and they started like telling me, mom, you're the best mom ever, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I don't even feel it. And
Wow.
then I started like having people
Oh, I
like
hear it.
positive people telling me, like, you know what I'm saying? Your kids is thriving, your kids is happy, they're healthy, they're enjoying life. And you might feel like you missing
You
out
got
on
some good
certain things,
kids, that's
but
for sure.
they are good. And so I had to really start taking into account what I was being told, you know what I'm saying? And really like looking at my kids and really asking them like, hey, mommy love you, right? And they're like, yeah, mommy, we know you love us. And it was like without a shadow of a doubt, like they didn't have no doubt on their face. They didn't flinch. They didn't like, you know what I'm saying, hesitate. They was just like, yeah,
They
girl,
know.
bye. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we know you love. So then the older that they got, like when they got teenagers, more, And I just started having conversations with them. But I always been open and honest with my kids. I always got an open door policy. You can ask me anything. You can talk to me about anything. If I offended you, like come tell me, because I'm human and you human. I don't look at, some people look at kids like they don't have no feelings. Yes, they do.
Are
Because
they
I
to
was a
be
kid who had
seen
feelings. Yeah,
and not heard? Because that's our
exactly.
era, right?
Yeah, you got to be seen and not heard. No, I'm gonna be heard and seen and felt. You know what I'm saying? So I want my kids to feel all of that. So I used to just have open conversations with them, like, do you, mommy, mommy is apologetic for not being there or missing this and doing that. So my daughter told me one day, she was like, Mom, you there for what's important. Prom, graduation, this birthdays. She was like, that's the stuff that's important. Like this, all this. Okay, we got a parent teacher conference. She was like, Mom, that's not important. That's
Yeah,
important
your
for y'all, but
children are
not
very
important for us.
understanding. They're
Yeah.
they're more mature than the average people in their generation. So let's be very clear with that. So now about the your business and you
Mm-hmm.
working the 9 to 5. What challenges did you face going to work for someone else and keeping that same energy that like the energy you put into this 9 to 5 into your business? Because that's the hardest thing I'm learning right now. Like the balance of being stretched.
Oh yes. Oh yes, girl. I'm just barely learning how to do it. Let me tell you, when I first started the whole business thing, like I said, my husband's been in business for himself. So he got it down to a science. And him asking me little questions on the business end, like, on the back office end, that's different because that's little questions here and there. But when I finally was like, okay, he wanted us to go into business together. See, it was one thing when it was just his name on the building or his name on the
Okay.
paperwork. Now it's
Okay.
both of our names on the paperwork. So then I'm still going to work here, doing my 9 to 5, making that secured paycheck. I know
Right.
it's coming.
Right.
And so then to go over here and you got to hustle for this money.
But how do
So
you
I
stay
got
motivated in that? Because that's the problem I'm having, to stay motivated right here in this new journey that I'm taking of, becoming an entrepreneur or having a small business, because I give so much at work, right? When I get off, like we can talk about
right, we tired.
how I canceled last week. This was supposed to be done last week. Me and you was supposed to have this. And I was like, Bestie, I'm just have to we're gonna have to do it another day. And you was like, well, I'm going through it, but I was still ready, friend.
I was gonna push through.
And I damn near cried because I was just like, I got people rooting for me, and here I am allowing sleep to like to like to detour me from what I'm supposed to be doing. But today I woke up with a whole new mindset. Okay. So how do you keep the momentum for after work for your own business? Like, how do you keep that energy?
I started thinking about that time I wanted to spend with my kids. Like, okay, yeah, they
So
are
your
adults
why.
now, but
Okay.
I still want to go and I want to spend time with them. I want to do stuff with them. I also started looking at when I was at work, sitting at my desk, right? I started asking for their supplies on purpose. I did this on purpose. So I asked for their supplies. Like, I need pens and I need notepads and I need this. So they gave me all this stuff. I started looking at it and all of it don't say my name. All of it say your name.
Okay.
I don't even know who owned this company. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never even met him. He never even took the time to come and say hello to me. And I done made you some money. I done made you a lot of money. It's been a lot of years. I done made you a lot of money. Now don't get me wrong. We done rub elbows together because I done made some money here too. But see, the difference is Uncle Sam is taxing my money a lot more than he taxing yours. You still up here and I'm still trying to get there. So I was like, you know what? I gotta put just as much energy into building my own business so that I can be like, oh, that's me. My name is on the paperwork. I want to be my own boss. I want to come and go as I please. And then I had a little bit of, I don't want to say jealousy, but I just used to look at my husband like, dang, I'm just a little envious that you could just get
Okay,
up
be
and go.
truthful.
You
Was
know
you
what I'm saying?
you was envious of his, he had freedom. His freedom.
Yes, yes. He made his own schedule. You know what I'm saying? He like, oh, I ain't going in right now. I'm going in 12 o'clock. I'm like, heck, you got that idea? I got to pull PTO to go in at 12 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? I got to damn near give them my old kidney to go in at 12 o'clock. So, or to get off at 12 o'clock and be done for the day. Like, what?
Now, do you like your 9 to 5? Do you've been there for years, so you
Mhm.
obviously enjoy what you're doing.
I enjoy it to a certain point. See, I look at all of them as a dollar sign, and that was something that was gonna take care of my family.
Okay.
I don't necessarily like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? I love getting up and coming to work. No. When I get there, as I'm driving, I'm praying for strength to make it through from the 8 to 5.
Oh God.
You know,
Yeah.
when it started getting like that, when it started getting to that point, I knew that was just like, okay, no,
A change had to happen,
it's a
correct?
change. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So then I'm just like, I come in there, I'm like, good morning. How you doing? Everybody's like, oh, you're so positive. Yeah, because when I look at you, I see a big dollar sign. And I got
Gina,
kids that's grown, going to college.
period, right?
Like I'm hey, good morning. So, but other than that, it's like, okay, then I'll leave from there. And I'm like, you know what? Don't go home. Don't go home. Go straight to your job. Go straight to your business. So I started
Okay.
investing in like crock pot meals, and my kids know how to cook. I started taking advantage, not advantage, but I started really looking at the fact that you got older kids, taught them how to cook. They're self-sufficient. They will
Okay.
be all right. They rather see you build this business and something that you can pass to them, and then to see you slaving for someone else.
Right. And then
And you know
having
what
to
I'm
go
saying?
do
At
the
least
same thing.
if you're gonna take your time away from them, take it from them for them. Something that's you gonna give to them. I can't give this 9 to 5 to them. That don't belong to me.
Right.
But I can give this LLC, this business over here, I can give them, parts of it. I can give them all of it. I can give them everything that belongs to them, because what belongs to me belongs to them.
Now, also too, as far as balancing everything. So we don't talked about your 9 to 5, your
Mm-hmm.
business, and then you being a mother. Now, your relationship. Y'all been together how many years?
A long time, like 20.
Married.
We've been married for 11.
Married for 11, but been together
Mhm.
for.
Like 20.
In order for you guys to have kept your relationship together this long, you have to have something that you guys had to have in common to evolve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, has it ever been so stressful for you while being married to still evolve and try to like be in this space that you guys are in now with the business?
It's definitely been some challenges and stressfulness. Um, it's more because I'm trying to find myself.
So
I'm
okay, in
trying
the
to,
midst of that, right?
yeah, in the midst of that, I'm
In the
trying
midst
to,
of being a mom, having a nine
mm-hmm,
to five,
mm-hmm,
and having a business and being married, you still trying to what?
find myself. I'm still trying to, what is it that makes me happy? Like genuinely happy, because you can't depend on other people to bring you happiness. You got to be internally happy on your own. You know what I'm saying? And so, I used to get upset with him because he just used to be like, he's so happy. He know what he want to do in life. Like he's been doing what he wants to do in life. And I'm like, I just wasn't that courageous. Um, and then trying to find time to, like you said, have a relationship, because that's what we in the midst of doing. It's a thing that revolves and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It comes back around too. So we trying to do that now. I'm in that phase right now to just have a relationship, because we've been parents, like hands-on in the house parents
Oh, so
for
it's a
so long. So
difference.
yeah, it's definitely a difference,
Well,
because now it's
I don't
like
have those issues
we
because
got to
I,
relearn each other for who we are. And that was another challenge that we had, because see, we knew each other since we was teenagers. So it was, sometimes it came a point where he still looked at me like that 17-year-old girl, and I'm not her. Sometimes I still looked at him as the 18-year-old guy, you know what I'm saying? Almost 19-year-old that I met, and that ain't him.
no.
He's totally different.
So you saying now that your children are grown, you guys are relearning each other,
Yes.
just the two of you, because y'all about to
Yes.
be empty nesters, correct?
Yes. So
So
now it's like
there's
we
a
know a little bit, because you have date nights,
mhm,
but it's like now it's really knowing me for who I really like, me, without just being hands-on mom. I'm always gonna be a mom, you know what I'm saying?
right.
But without having the kids in the house. Like, what is it that she likes to do? Like, you know, what can we do with each other that is fun for both of us? So when they started getting a little bit older, where we can leave them in the house by themselves without, the law getting involved, we started having those date nights more and more and just having open conversations with one another and telling them like, you know what? I really don't like that anymore. I used to like that when I was younger, but I don't like that no more. You know what I'm saying? It's
Okay.
like your taste in food. Some things used to be good to you, like McDonald's used to be the bomb to you when you was younger, but it's not really that great to me
It's
now. You know what I'm
nasty.
saying? I can do without. So I mean, I like their sweet tea.
Okay. Yeah, it's nasty. The whole premise of this episode was like, how did you eventually get to a space where you were content or happy or okay with the space that you're in now, balancing everything?
Prayer. I gave it all to God. I
You better
asked
speak a
God, told
word.
him to just
You better
remove
speak a
what
word,
needed to be
friend.
removed, and put in me what I needed to be stronger, to be better, to be a better mom, to be a better wife, to be a better me. You know what I'm saying? Just strip me of things that's negative. Like I'm trying to watch what I say out of my mouth. I'm trying to be moved with intention. I'm trying to be a better friend, a better sister, a better wife, a better mother, you know what I'm saying? A better daughter. Like I had to learn forgiveness.
So faith, the foundation of
Yes.
faith.
Yes.
When you was
Just rededicated myself to,
okay,
the Lord. Like I really, I've been saved. I was baptized, but I backslid. I did what I did. I did what I wanted to do.
we all did.
And I had to learn that I am not in control.
Okay,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying? So
learning that
what
part.
I'm trying to do is got me going crazy. So I just had to learn to give it all to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And thank God, thank Jesus for everything, every blessing, every moment. Just live in the moment. Also, just I wanted to be more intentional, like I was saying, more intentional with my time. I wanted to be, with my friends, with my kids, with my mother. I had to learn forgiveness. First and foremost, I had to forgive myself for a lot of things that I felt guilty about or I took blame for that it didn't have nothing to do with me. So I had to learn to forgive myself and forgive others and just be like, you know what? And really understand no and boundaries and be okay with it and don't lose no sleep. Because I'm such a giving person.
That's true.
So, but I was
You
giving too
are.
much and not getting nothing in return. So now I have to be intentional on who I give my time to. And
Well, I thank you because you intentionally gave it to me, even after
yeah,
I canceled.
absolutely.
Because I was
No,
so
I'm always
tired,
give
but
my time to
God
you, friend,
knows.
because you pour into me. You know what I'm saying? Like you my
Oh,
village.
I
You're a
love
part of my
you.
village.
I
I
love
love
you.
you too. I'm sorry, you probably hear this plane going
No, no, I
around.
can't hear nothing.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
worry. Now let's talk
So,
about this village because
okay.
that I feel that when we were younger, there was a much more of a village.
Mm-hmm.
Um Me now being in my 40s and having Ash, the village has shrunk. Like,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, most of my village, you out there in California, um, my brother and my sisters, they all have their own families, their immediate little own families, and most of their kids are grown or really almost like
Mm-hmm.
teenagers. And then his father has kids, but they're grown and doing their thing. And my mom has passed on. It's just the village, and my dad, he's here, but he's a 5 minute papa, so we won't do that. I don't know what the question I wanted to ask about the village.
I think I can tell you
Okay, go ahead.
something though, based off of what you just said. It's kind of a catch-22. When you was younger, when we were younger, when I was first having my kids, yeah, the village was bigger, you know what I'm saying? But also was the opinions, also was the, you know what I'm saying? You should do this. I think you should do that. If it was me, when I was you, you not me. I'm not you. She ain't me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you not her. So I think now older and your village getting smaller, the tribe getting smaller, the village is always around, you know what I'm saying? The tribe of people that you have around you is smaller, but I think that it's less noise. It's a way for you, like you right now, like you said, you 41 years old and you got a taller that and your village don't seem as big. And sometimes we need that. We do need that. But then there's sometimes you just gotta be able to do it by yourself and figure it out for yourself because what may work for me may not work for you. That's why I always tell you, friend, however you want to parent your son, you know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna stand behind you. If you ask me a question, I'm gonna give you an answer. Um, but I always let you know, like, but that's what worked for me. You know, every kid is different. Just like my everything I did for Kirsten didn't work for Justice, and vice
Okay.
versa. You know what I'm saying? Every kid is different. Every pregnancy is different. So it's like I think sometimes I like my village as I got, older and my kids got older, my village just started falling off. That's all them opinions. I don't need to hear all that. I don't need to hear the people that already probably in the back of their mind or hell in the front of their mind was like, she ain't gonna be able to do that. Why would she
Okay.
do that?
Okay.
Because I did. And God said yes. You know?
I just
So
I was just in a like thinking like if I had him younger, and it was out of my control because we know I tried.
mhm,
It was just out of my control. It was only God gave me Ash when the
the
time was
right
right,
time.
right?
The right time. Mhm,
But I'm finding myself grabbing for straws, trying to like because I don't leave him with just anyone. I don't trust
mhm,
just anyone with Ash, and it's only five of y'all. So and it's like
mhm.
everybody I know is doing and moving and shaking and putting themselves, aligning themselves in a position to be great. So it's just like my village is not no nothing ass peoples. They doing things. So and so it's hard for people that's moving to help. That's where I find like I have the most anxiety. Like I want to work
Yeah.
harder now. I didn't want to work hard before I had Ash. I just did enough. Now that I
Yeah.
have him, I want to leave. I have a legacy I want to leave for him, and I'm finding myself not having the village at a bay, at my hands
Mhm,
because all of us is doing something.
mhm.
And so that makes me feel like, oh, if God would have just gave me him when I was in my 20s, then I could be, this, but it's like I wasn't ready. I understand that. So we was talking about the village. This is part two. We was
Mhm,
talking about the village. And it's important to have a village, but it's also important to know that you can do it yourself, even
mhm,
though there's certain things that you might lack.
mhm,
If you just do you think it's more about prioritizing or having time management? I find myself being very routine. And sometimes
mhm.
get kicked off my routine, it makes me scatterbrain
Right.
to where I just want to give in and let go.
I think, you know what, honestly, to really tell you what I truly think about, um, sometimes when we have too many people back, I'm just gonna piggyback back off the village thing. Sometimes when we have too many people, it's not just the opinions, but then when we find ourselves by ourselves doing it, we second guess ourselves, like because we so used to having so many people to rely on.
Oh, like
And
being
sometimes, friend,
codependent.
yeah,
Being
sometimes, friend,
codependent.
I sit back and I hear what you saying about, oh, if I had my kid, if I had my kid, and what comes to my spirit every time I hear you say that is maybe God is telling you you don't need nobody but him. And that's why
Mm.
you don't have nobody
Girl, you
that
about to
is
have me
tangible
crying.
to you. You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
want to be
That's
out here
tangible to
crying,
you.
Keaton. No, I
But
do
I'm
get
gonna be
emotional. Let them
obedient.
know
You know
that.
what I'm saying? I'm gonna be obedient, but I'm just saying like maybe that's just that time that to build you up because friend, to be honest, you have always been that type that want to do something and then you get so close and then you like no. Remember that
I
that
retreat.
thing I won for you, them
Yes.
tickets, that backyard racing
Yes. Let's
tickets I
talk
said
about
on
this.
that phone.
Let's talk about how
Calling
every
that radio
time.
station.
Yeah,
I called you a
okay.
hypochondriac.
But Keita, there's a thing that happens to when people that has stage fright when they
Mhm.
get nervous. My voice literally like clenches up, Keita. Like if I'm
I believe it now because I'm older and I researched some stuff, but
yeah, but
I
no,
thought you
I
was
was
messing.
no, but I was just nervous and I would get sick. I will always get sick when it's time for me to sing in front of people. But now you can pay me, girl, or don't pay me at all, and I'm gonna sing because I just want to
I
sing.
think it's just isolate. You like we all get in a moment of isolation. You know what I'm saying? I had a moment where it was nobody. It was just me. Like God, my kids. That's it. Like I mean, my husband too, but even he didn't understand. So I feel
Okay.
like God was just isolating me to let me know how strong I truly was. You know what I'm
You
saying?
think that this is
Just
a
just
test
let
of
me know
strength,
that, yeah, absolutely. Because when
girl?
you got so many people to depend on, do you really know what you're doing by yourself? Like, what are you
No,
gonna do when those
no,
people
you
are not
figure it
around you?
out.
You know what I'm
No, like
saying?
I have people around me. I just don't ask because I'm like, I can figure it out. But I be
Right,
hoping that sometimes they say, "Hey, just bring them here." You feel me? Like,
right.
let me.
No, but
But
so
they
it's
don't. So
like,
I'll be like, "Okay, I'm gonna figure it out." And then I get mad
but
at
you
his
have
dad
to.
though too because I'm like,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Well, I was a truck driver before before you ever got pregnant." I just start having resentment. I just want to be in a space where I feel that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's all going to be okay, whether I get 50% here or 100 over here or 20 here. I just feel like the only person I don't want it to affect what I'm doing is Ash.
The
And I
only way
feel
it's
like
gonna
it do
affect
though.
Ash, only way I think it's gonna affect Ash is if you're not happy.
Hmm.
So if all that stuff you saying, you got to be internally happy with, like, Keisha has to be happy. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna always be good because you're his mom.
Well, I mean, we're living proof that you can balance everything, but what the sacrifice that it takes is sometimes it's overwhelming, friend.
It is. It absolutely is. So that's why I try not to think about the sacrifice that it takes, because it'll get you too far in your head. And you know what I'm saying? Our sacrifices is minimum to the sacrifices, Jesus did for us. So
come on, friend, you better speak a word,
we
bro. I feel
can't,
like God
yeah,
sent
you
you
know
here
what
to
I'm
speak a
saying?
word, girl.
You
Because you
can't just,
speaking.
we gotta take no time for granted. So yeah, if you're tired, but you know that there is something else that you could be doing that's gonna better you or that's gonna give you internal happiness, do it. You know, like, your son is gonna be good because his mama's good. When his mama's not good, he's not gonna be good. And I say that because you're his primary parent. You know what I'm saying? You're the one he's feeding off of. You're the one that, you feel like you're lacking. But when I see my nephew, he happy. He doing what he
Everybody
doing.
say that. I just don't be feeling like I just.
Well, that's
like,
because you right
when they
there
call
in
me
it.
to come get him from daycare because he acting up, friend. I'm like, okay, I can't miss work. And it just be like, okay, every time I try to venture out and do a venture, ever since I've had Ash, this is like the third time I've tried a podcast. So it's like I can't be missing work because now I gotta go make up for that, and it's gonna take away from this, and it's gonna take away from him more. But so I'm trying to find that balance, and like, because I think I let him, to be truthful, I think I let Ash slide with a lot of things that he shouldn't be able to slide with or get away with because I feel guilty that he's at daycare for 12 hours and that I am not able to nurture him the way I want to when we get home because we're in a rush to go to bed. 3 hours,
Well,
we're in
you got to
bed.
look at it too. He's at daycare. He playing with friends. He having a good time. He's
Okay, come on,
learning.
friend.
You know what I'm saying? He's learning and he's okay.
Okay.
It's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard to get that in your mind because I've been there. I've really been there, and I understand where you at. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it was hard for me to get in my mind like they're thriving, they're having fun. They not, you know what I'm saying? Ash ain't worried about you. Like, he having fun with his friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he get in trouble, but he doing kid stuff. Kids gonna get in trouble. Like, it is what it is. But I just look at it as take several breaths, friend. You know what I'm saying? Take several breaths. Um, know that from me to you, you are doing a damn good job. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you,
And
friend.
the patience that I see that you have with him, I wish I had those patients. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I feel like I fast track my kids. I'm like, hey, I didn't have a lot of patience because I'm a mom's only kid. So then I have these kids, so I have to, like, now not be so selfish and self-absorbed. But it was just like my patience wasn't there because I was still trying to fight life.
Yeah.
And on top of raise them, you know what I'm saying? And so, but I see how you are with him, and sometimes I'm like, dang, I wish I had that. I wish I had a little bit more grace. You know what I'm saying? Now, my kids tell me all the time, Mom, you're a totally different mom now than you was then. Well, it took prayer.
Now, what advice would you give a young woman, a woman our age, or any woman who may have been faced with trying to balance everything, who's married, have kids, a business, a 9 to 5, and their own self-help? What's the advice that you would give to them, Keita?
First, I'm gonna say, girl, keep going. Don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Don't sleep on yourself. Don't sleep on your dreams. Don't sleep on the things that you want in life. Take a day, take moments, even if it's 15 minutes, take time. You know what I'm saying? For yourself. If you got that 9 to 5, you get 2 breaks and a lunch. On them 2 breaks, I started to be like by myself. But on my 2 breaks and my lunch, that's me. Go in your car, sit back, relax, meditate, think about stuff, take a pen and paper, and write down certain things you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Let that be your time for yourself. Let that be the time that you take a breather and you could just let your hair down and just be okay. You know what I'm saying? So then when you come back, you reconvene back to work, you get the job done. When you get home, you deal with your kids or you go to your business, but whatever it is that you do afterwards, but don't stop. Keep moving forward and keep letting God work but you gotta open that door. He knocking, you gotta open it.
And that's a word from my bestie. No, okay. Thank you for tuning in to Life Having Podcast with your favorite cousin Keisha and my bestie. Day one, stay one tatted on me. Keita Boo. Shout out your all your Instagram, your TikTok, and your Facebook.
Well, I got Keita, she is me. It's under that or Marquita Jones. Plus, I got my business, which is Callie Love Jones Apparel. And we on Instagram and Facebook.
All right, cousins. We'll talk to you later. Episode 2 down. Let's go.
Soundstripe.